I want freedom. I want freedom to choose how I navigate my days. I want the freedom to dictate what I do for work. I want the freedom to travel and move and flow to the beat of my own drum. I want financial freedom. Everything in my life connects back to freedom. So if you are also passionate about freedom through travel, financial freedom, freedom in your ability to think and do for yourself, then this is the space for you. If you're new here, welcome. In this space, we talk about freedom as it relates to our finances, travel, and our mindset. We are trying to free ourselves from any limitations that make us scared and afraid to seize the life that we want. If you're new here, please click like and subscribe to join our community of freedom seekers where we learn to travel the world, seek out our dreams, and not let fear stop us. I just wanted to create this video because I wanted to give a little bit more perspective about where my theme about freedom comes from, why I'm so passionate about attaining freedom in every single facet of my life. Growing up, I was always the person that did what I was told. I went to school. I was a, type A student, always very passionate about getting my work done. When I grew up, I was always that person that did what was socially acceptable. I was, a very disciplined student. I was very academic. I really valued being the top of my class. I was high school valedictorian. I was the student council president. I went to university. I sought out things that I perceived were important and valuable and viewed highly by society. I felt like I also worked hard to try to attain the American or the Canadian dream. Like I wanted to seek out home ownership. I wanted to be financially stable. I wanted a good 9-to-5 job that paid me well, that had benefits, that had the pension, all of that. And that's what I dedicated my life to. I dedicated my life to seeking freedom in the way that I was told I was supposed to get it. But as I started on my journey towards that definition of freedom, I realized that it didn't align with me. I realized that that definition was not truly free. So after working towards these things, I still felt like I didn't have agency and I didn't have a say over the way that my life was being led. I ended up becoming a teacher, but every single day I still felt like I was missing something. I was missing the ability to choose the way that I led my day. I still felt like overwhelmed with work. I just kind of wanted to do things my own way. I realized that I wanted more for myself. I didn't want to just do and follow the path that was laid out for me, that was socially acceptable. I wanted to kind of disrupt what I grew up on. My mom and my family, they migrated from Jamaica and they really learned the value of a dollar. They were hardworking people, humble people that just believed in, if you get a good job, you keep it, you work hard, you save your money, and you just keep doing that. And despite having that mentality, I observed so much unhappiness throughout the years. I felt like my mother was constantly tired and overworked. I felt like she always dreamt about traveling the world and doing more for her life, or maybe having chosen a different career field, but then feeling limited or almost attached to the security that she got from the field that she was in. And I didn't want that to be me. I felt like my life was becoming that because I ended up becoming a teacher. And while I loved teaching, there were many parts of the job that didn't align with me. I felt overworked. I was taking a lot of work home with me. I felt totally burnt out and totally drained. And then I ended up stepping away from it. And I said, you know what? What if you try to define life on your own terms? What if you try to create your own means of making money? What if you try to create a schedule that works for you? If you're going to complain so much about it, if you're going to be so dissatisfied about the job, the 9-to-5 that you have, why don't you try to create something else that you want? Because at the end of the day, I feel like I could always go back to teaching. I could always, go back to that safety of having a 9-to-5 and working the 9-to-5 that I was given. I'm privileged and I I feel like I'm grateful for the opportunity that I've gotten to have this job, to have the education, to work as an educator, but I just saw more for myself than simply being a primary educator. I wanted to educate on a grander scale. I wanted to make a bigger impact. I wanted to do it in a way that I was free, meaning on my own terms, teaching the things that I wanted to teach, teaching material and content that I truly believed, that I truly connected to. And this connects back to the theme of freedom in my life, where I want to live life on my own terms. I want to determine my own ways to make money. I want to solo travel and determine the way that I spend my days. I want to have financial freedom, and I want to not limit myself to the income or the salary that's given to me. I want to rise above that. And I felt like the older generations, not knocking them or anything, because they grew up in a different time and they have a different relationship to money and to different definitions of success. But I think in our generation, like being millennials, being Gen Z, we are seeking freedom in a different way. We are rewriting what freedom means to us. And I think that is so powerful. So this is why I am creating this space for other people that feel limited in the work that they're doing, that feel limited in their ability to travel and have mobility in this world, that feel limited by the set vacation days that their job gives them. That feeling of, I want to travel for 3 months. Why do I only have 2 weeks? Like, I've been having this feeling of wanting to travel for 6 months, but bouncing back and forth between, how do I get 6 months off from my job? Like, sometimes jobs can be limiting. Yes, they offer that sense of security, but they can be limiting for your dreams and your aspirations. And I just finally stepped away from it. And I said, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I am going to work on building my online teaching business. And I'm going to try to redefine life on my own terms. And it's going to work out for me. I'm manifesting that it's going to work out for me. It is something that is unconventional. It's something that is unfamiliar to me. I didn't grow up coming from an entrepreneurial family. I didn't grow up in a family of freedom seekers, but I'm going to be the person that does that. I'm not going to settle for my life. I don't want to settle for the life that I was given. I want to create the life that I want. So if you resonate with this statement about seeking out freedom in every department of your life, then join this channel, click subscribe, join our community. We talk about travel. We talk about freedom through solo travel and how to navigate your finances as a traveler. We talk about financial freedom as it relates to intentional spending money on things that are meaningful to you, prioritizing a few things that are important to you that are going to help you grow as a person, and really investing your money in those things. And we also talk about investing. We talk about saving. We talk about how to have agency and autonomy and freedom within your life. If that resonates with you, please click like and subscribe to join our community. And I hope to see you in the next video. Much love, y'all.